Hey all, right, so been away for a little while. As per usual, I don't do very much and then I come back and I go, hey, been a while. So, same as always. I have had a few health issues and a little bit of time off work for it and all sorts of stuff like that. Plus, as you can see, the car is away, so it hasn't been massively worthwhile getting too much in the way of video footage of stuff. But I thought today I will show you around what I've done with the unit since I've been away. I've re-screeded the floor a little bit, painted it, reordered it, tried to make it look quite nice. What I've ended up with is a space that hopefully will be a little bit more photogenic and it will make the footage a little bit nicer, make it a little bit nicer for me to work in. I'm going to be taking the F4R 16 valve Clio 172 engine, taking the gearbox off it, cleaning up the gearbox and giving it a repaint, cleaning up the engine and probably giving some of that a repaint. I say some of that because I don't quite know yet what I'm replacing and what I'm not, but I'll give it a good old try and see where we can go from there. But first off, let me just show you around the unit because it looks nice. So as you can see, it looks quite nice, doesn't it? On top of that, I'm using a new camera. I'm using a DJI Osmo, which is a image stabilization camera, which I think is quite nice. So let me know if you think the sound quality is any good, if you think the video quality is rubbish, because I'll go straight back to iPhone, because that's what I've been using before. But let's get into what we're going to be doing now, which is the strip down of the engine, taking off a few ancillaries, taking the gearbox apart. Taking the gearbox apart? No, I don't do that. Taking the gearbox off the engine, give it a clean up, and see about if we can give it a lick of paint.
Hello, end of day Chris here. I did not give it a lick of paint. It's very dirty, but enjoy.
So, as you can see, this is what we have going on at the moment. It is rather dirty, so I'm just keeping that out of the way for now, just because it's in the way. But as you can see, it's rather mucky. It's got about 100,000 miles, like 96,000 miles of general road grime all over it. Same with the gearbox. So, my idea being is that I'm going to strip all the ancillaries off that I don't need. An awful lot of things won't be kept. For example, the alternator is going to get relocated. Power steering might be got rid of altogether. I don't know. Air conditioning definitely will be got rid of. So yeah, there's some things that I'll take off. So I'll just leave it basically as kind of a bare block, and we will get this thing clean.
1,000 years later.
So what's been happening? Right, well, I've done a lot of cleaning and I'm making a big mess, but I'm also running out of cleaning products. At work we have this product called Loctite 7063 and it's absolutely brilliant. So I bulk bought a load of that off Amazon because there's just nothing that seems to clear grease in the same way. It's under pressure, so it just chucks all the grease and all the dirt away, which is brilliant. However, it runs out really quickly. So I had 4 cans of it, they're all gone. I've then used some engine degreaser, but that's not under the same pressure, so it sort of like sits. So if you've got to scrub it and then rinse it off, and you can't rinse it off just by spraying more on because the pressure isn't there to like push the stuff away. So what am I going to do? I have got a few bits in white spirit just to get them sort of started. I'm going to go away and I'm going to get on Amazon and I'm going to bulk buy some more 7063. Probably going to buy 12, 15 bottles. I'm going to start looking at my old gearbox off the Laguna because that was a 42,000 mile gearbox and a lot of those pieces are going to be appropriate to move across because the JC5 gearbox is the same externally across the board. So I can use the engine mount from the Laguna directly onto the Clio gearbox. However, the Clio gearbox is really dirty. So little things like the end cap. I have taken off the black end cap, which is actually quite rusty. I've then decided to take off the green end cap, which kind of, hey, it makes sense, it's a green race car. Take that green end cap off the Laguna. I'm going to clean that up because it's not got any rust on it or anything like that, and I'll end up using that one instead. So I'm going to have a few things that I swap across. So the other thing that I want to do, I need to find some space for it, but I want to get a parts wash. I think I want to get a parts wash because, well, let me show you. That is the mess. That is a newly painted floor and it is already just filth. So yeah, I'd like to try and contain my cleaning to a parts wash if I can, because if I'm doing engine bits and gearbox bits and stuff like that, it's a bit ridiculous. Taking things apart, I'm realising how many things I'm going to have to start buying soon. I'm going to start making a list. I'm going to write it on there, onto my Laguna checklist, which is my spare bonnet. And yeah, we'll check back in a while. So what I thought I'd do real quick is write down a list of some of the things that you should be expecting to see in future episodes, just so that you know sort of what the process is going to be. And this is not going to have everything, but this is the main gist of stuff that we should be sort of looking forward to doing. So obviously there's been a lull where I've spent some time redoing the unit a little bit because of two main things. One, I've had some health issues, which I'll talk about in a later episode or over Instagram or something like that, if you wish to hear about it. Also, Jake, who has been doing my roll cage, he has another job. So he is making my cage with Deba Motorsport Fabrication, which is him and a friend of his who run that company. But they do that on the side of their normal job. So he's been doing that on weekends and evenings. And it's a very, very involved roll cage. It's completely TIG welded. And then on top of that, because I had my health issues, he didn't want to stretch me as far as rushing me to pay for it if I was going to have any pay deductions because of being off work for a long period of time. So realistically, I couldn't appreciate that anymore if I tried, because that has taken the pressure off massively. But the car will be back soon. It will sit in this space. It will be fantastic that we can start rebuilding things. And this is the sort of process that we're going to go through. So parts that I need. Clutch from a 172, because it's going onto the 172 engine. Same with the release bearing, that will go as a full kit. Coilovers. Now, I'm in talks with a few different companies on trying to sort out something regards to this. So they are Clio 182 Cup based ones at the front. As you know from previous episodes, I'm having to have custom top mounts made because the steering bearing on the Laguna, they're below the spring. Stupid. But on everything else in the world, they're in the top mounts. So I'm going to have something made for that. So also the rears, they're on a torsion bar. So if you lower it fine, but you don't actually get any difference in spring rate. So you have to update that, or uprate that, sorry. Rear disc conversion, I'm talking to somebody who's got some rear discs. I just need to get hold of some calipers. 172 rear camber plates, if they fit. If not, I can just have some made. Alley rad upgrade, I think that's just a sensible thing to do. I'll go for a nice big fat jobby, and we'll get some serious cooling, because the last thing I want to do is go through all this effort and overheat it on track. So as for jobs, custom made door cards, they don't make them. So I'm going to have to custom make some door cards. Also, on the inside, once you open the door, the roll cage has got cage protecting bars as well, cage protecting cards, which on the real car are carbon fibre. I might get some carbon fibre sheet. I will probably do it out of polycarbonate because it'll be fine. And it's, at this point, it's about budget. I'm putting enormous amounts of my time and energies and money into this, and I just don't have enough to do the job the same as the touring cars were, because they were £2 million for the team, you know, for the year. So I just can't realistically do that. Arch rolling, you saw in an episode previously, I did a really bad job, so I'll have to go back and do it again. I've got spare arches because I actually bought a spare car, as you possibly know about. Sunroof blank, I'm going to be sending that off because I know just how difficult that is to do without warping the roof, so I'll seek some professional bodywork assistance for that. Loom and battery relocation, because obviously there's a huge amount of stuff from the interior that won't be necessary anymore, but I do want things like rear lights, because while it will be a track car, I will have an MOT on it. Hub stud conversion, that's nice and easy. I've got them already, so we'll do that at some point soon. Front splitter, that will be a full front bumper jobby that I'll do, and I will ideally make something that is actually functional rather than just an aesthetic. But regardless, it doesn't look like a factory car. The race one has a big old carbon splitter on it, and it has ducts for the brakes and all sorts of stuff like that. Rear spoiler, I was away on holiday in Turkey last summer, and a real one came up for sale. It was a ProDrive Ale Menu 2000 car spoiler, so I would have had to take the paint off it because it was off a Mondeo, but the 97, 98, 99 Laguna and the 2000 Mondeo have the same spoiler. I don't know who was the company that made it first. I would imagine ProDrive asked for Williams to supply them because Renault had done it first. Unless the Mondeo from 96, 97 had it. I don't know, I think it's different. Anyway, so I might have missed out on a big one there. I got to about 520 quid and I was like, I can't afford anymore. So yeah, I bowed out of that. So in the meantime, am I gonna make something? I've got some stuff hanging up there from an episode previous where I started making something. I'm gonna continue doing a little bit of that later on down the line. I'm also talking to somebody who will 3D print me, based on a scan of the real thing, a real one to spec, and then I can have that sent off to somebody who can then make carbon fibre ones. However, they're not going to make one, they're going to have to make like 10. So I might have to pay £5,000-7,000 for 10 of them to be made, and then try and sell the other ones on. I'll probably keep one for as and when I do a Mondeo, but then sell on the rest of them to people, hopefully, and don't end up with a stockpile of expensive spoilers. Anyway, decals. That's here, but it's probably right down there. It's going to be right at the end because I don't want to scratch them up once they're on. Engine tidy service, cam belt, dephasers. So obviously we're doing the engine tidy over this episode and some others, but yeah, I'll do a service with a cam belt and dephaser pulley, and possibly even a 197 Clio camshaft upgrade. We'll see. It just, to me, if you're going to that much effort, maybe it's worth it. Exhaust, manifold and full system. I've written them separated because the manifold, I might be able to get a 182 manifold and it just fit. I might have to have something made, we'll see. Interior paint, that's one to look forward to soon because once the car comes back it's going to have bare metal on the roll cage, so I will more than likely chuck etch primer on that very, very soon afterwards, and then I'll chuck normal primer over the rest of it. So it won't be like the actual colour, because the actual colour is like a gloss grey, but it will at least have primer and it will look one colour, and it might be a bit of an exciting one for you. It will definitely be an exciting one for me. Dash in, that's another one that I'll do very, very soon, just because once the roll cage is in, that dash is in pretty good condition and it's taking up a lot of space and it's just sort of ready to get bashed into. So I will, as soon as I can, get that dash put into the car. So what you can look forward to in the relatively near future is the car to come back, me painting the interior and putting the dash in, and that will be where it all starts. And then I will see about doing things like the door cards, putting the doors back onto the car, putting the boot back onto the car, which is going to clear up a lot of space because, as you've seen from the beginning of this video, there's loads of stuff everywhere. And then we can look at putting it back together completely, because it will be going back together with like the fundamentals like panels, but it would be nice to chuck everything back together kind of final, you know, because at the moment it's going to have standard brakes put back on it, only to have them taken off and upgrades done. But this is a bit of an anticlimactic episode. It's a bit of a, yeah, not very much happened. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it has been a while since I've been on. Health issues, it is what it is. But yeah, I appreciate you coming back, and hopefully we'll get the car back very soon. And yeah, I'm very excited. I hope you are too. If you would like merchandise, let me know. So this Chris the Car Builder hoodie, that's got a QR code that works. It's also on the back. I've also got them in t-shirts. I've got the t-shirt on as well. Looks exactly the same, but it's a black t-shirt. I can do them white, grey, black, whatever colour you like, pretty much. I actually haven't got any stock at the moment, so I need people to start showing some interest, and then I'll buy some stock, because these were just trial run ones. I can also supply these, £2.50 posted mainland as stickers. They are this size, they're the size of a tax disc. Again, working QR codes. So if you want to support the channel, let me know about buying these, or DM me on Instagram regarding the stickers, which I can send out like that. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you later.